Morning, YouTube. RDAP Dan here, Federal Prison Time Consulting. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. Thought I would share a little bit of good news with you all. So I just received a call. Actually, it wasn't from my client. It was from his wife. He got sentenced today, and she was in tears, but through all of the crying, I could hear happiness in her voice. They hired us about, I guess, almost a year ago now. I'd have to look into his file when I get home, but hired us about a year ago. After all of his departures and cooperation, he was still at a level 32. Base offense level 32. First time nonviolent offender, level 32. He had a security, hey Marina, how are you doing? Securities fraud. Had a few other charges. I don't remember all of them. Securities fraud, embezzling. There was a few different charges for the company that he worked for. Anyway, he was facing, I believe it was around, based on his guidelines, the government was recommending the low end of the guidelines, which was somewhere around 121 months. And guys, if you don't believe you can make a difference by putting in hard work and effort and paying attention to some of the work that we do here at Federal Prison Time Consulting, this should be a victory for all of you to realize if you put in the hard work and effort, good things can happen. So he was sentenced today, and the judge 100% brought up letters, narrative, character references, the fact that how prepared he was for the pre-sentence interview. We did some additional things with him as well. We had him creating an environment for himself where he was able to go speak in his community. We helped him engage with a couple of different colleges. We had him going to a youth group on a regular basis. And the judge brought his guidelines all the way from, I think his wife just said, and this is what his wife has told me, so I got to wait to see all of this and talk to him myself, but brought it down to a level 13, which brought him down to minimum sentencing guidelines of around 12 months. And the judge actually gave him a 60-month probation sentence, so sentenced him to 5 years of supervised release or probation instead of incarceration. He was 100% thinking, and we were all thinking, because the government was recommending the low end of the guidelines, we typically see individuals, even though that's the sentencing range, we typically see our clients get sentenced below the guideline range, but nobody was anticipating probation. So this was a huge victory. I believe he was sentenced out of, I want to say it was Connecticut. I'll check when I literally just got the call while I'm driving. And I figured I want to share this with all of you because this is why we do what we do. And let's not get killed on the road. But amazing. It's amazing because when you put in the work, the effort, and you have faith in what you're doing, the problem is a lot of individuals, they tend to think, well, what's the point? Nothing's going to matter. My attorney told me this is what my sentencing guidelines are, and they can't go below that. Even though we know that not to be true, at the same time, it's like we realize that you're getting such conflicting information, and you sometimes you just don't know who to believe, you don't know what to do, and that stops you from moving forward at all. So this is a testament to the work that, not just the work that we do, but the clients that truly engage and they do what's necessary. And there's a lot of you out there that have hired us that are still waiting for your outcome and waiting to get sentenced. And I know how, oh man, the word is tiring and exhausting and anxious to know what's going to happen. It feels like sometimes the world is coming down on your shoulders. But once you are sentenced, whether you happen to get an amazing sentence like that, and for those of you that are posting messages, I can't really see them because I'm driving and it's coming up on the phone, and I don't want to stare at my phone too hard. Probably shouldn't even be making these calls while I'm on the phone, but anyway, here we are. Just amazing. I'm so excited right now because hopefully he'll come on and do an interview with us. He's somewhat of, I don't know in his situation, I don't know that he's going to want to share his story. He's had a hard time really talking about the reality of what he's been going through because of his career, and he's hoping to be able to get back into some sort of I mean, he's not going to be able to get back into what he was doing, that's for sure. But we'll see. We'll see where we can go with that. It's just great news, and I wanted to share that with you guys and just let you know it's never too late to pick up the phone and give me a call at 509-434-4695. We have an amazing team. We have so many different services from the point that we started when we engaged into this industry to where we are now. We help individuals with 2255 motions, direct appeals, and a lot of that, it really depends on the individual whether or not that's going to make sense or not. We have a situation right now where we have a doctor facing life in prison, and he got some really poor advice from his attorney, and beyond the poor advice, his attorney admitted in open court that he didn't even have the opportunity to read through all of the discovery on the case. So when you have your attorney telling you they didn't get an opportunity to read through all of your discovery and you're going to trial, that should be a huge red flag. I don't know what kind of defense your attorney is going to properly present for you if all of the discovery has not been reviewed. But however, if you're in a situation like that and your attorney happens to say something in an open court where, Your Honor, I haven't had time to go through all of the discovery, can you I need more time. This is during trial. This is during the trial that the attorney is saying this in open court. Typically, you'll see everybody tries to file a 2255 ineffective counsel, and very rarely do they ever make it anywhere, just because most of the time, really what it comes down to is the individuals weren't taking enough interest in their own case. And the sloppiness that may have been done by an attorney is something that could have been done by any attorney. And I don't think most courts I think most courts will overlook that and rule against any type of 2255 or direct appeal. But in a situation where you have an attorney in open court in the transcripts stating that they now during trial don't feel competent, the attorney actually asked the judge to withdraw and let the client have to basically take his plea instead of going to trial. He advised his client early on to not take the plea, to go to trial, and it caused him so much problems where he was offered a plea agreement, I think, of 10 to 13 years, and now he's looking at life in prison. He was found guilty on 800 counts. 800. That's 8 with 2 zeros behind it. 800 counts. And 2 of those counts, accidental deaths, which now carries a minimum mandatory of 20 years. So we're doing some additional services for him. We've partnered up with an individual that specializes in appeals, direct appeals, 2255s. So we're able to kind of navigate into waters that the average consultant may not go into. So guys, just don't ever give up. Realize what you put into this is what you're going to get out of it. Not everybody's going to receive a probated sentence or a highly reduced sentence, but if you don't put in the effort, you don't know what's going to happen. If you're looking at finding out how you can qualify for things like RDAP, the Residential Drug Abuse Program, you want to know if you qualify for time off, you want to know how much halfway house you could possibly get, you want to know if you can get up to the 12 months of good time, the 12 months of additional halfway house, you're interested in the First Step Act and how that works for 30 days of programming, how much time your loved one or you can possibly have your sentence reduced through good time credit, going to the halfway house sooner or going to home confinement sooner. These are all things that we 100% specialize in. Personal narrative, character reference letters, prepping you for the pre-sentence interview, making sure you understand the value that goes into this pre-sentence interview. You don't want to go into this blind, because if you do, you're going to be making so many mistakes that once you make these mistakes, it's going to be damn near impossible to overturn the mistakes because the damage has already been done. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to give me a call. You're going to find out what we do. We're going to see what you need. We're going to see where you are in your situation. We're going to give you a quote, and if it's for you, great. If it's not, at least you have some free information to know what you should be doing next. So use the phone number, 509-434-4695. Guys, I'm RDAP Dan, Federal Prison Time Consulting. People helping people, communities method, one day at a time. I'm so glad I got to share this with you guys. It makes my morning much, much happier, and I'm drinking my coffee out of my Buffalo Bills mug. No hating. I'm I'm not even a Buffalo Bills fan anymore, but somebody bought me the mug. Actually, Shelly's mom bought me the mug for Christmas. So it fits perfect in my cup holder. Cheers, guys. I'm moving next week to South Florida. About a week and a half. I'm leaving a week from Sunday. Can't wait. So we'll be doing some streaming because it's going to be a long drive. So I'll be sharing that road trip with you guys. Talk to you soon. Everybody have a great and safe weekend. I love all of you. I'm out of here. Talk to you later, guys. Peace.